Welcome to Random Select. Please enjoy.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mario, and I would like to welcome you into another episode of Random Select. And in this particular episode, I want to call You Can't Make Them Love You. And this is all in reference to when we fall in love and we put our everything into it, and it just seems like the other person is not. But what we got to understand is that you can't make someone love you who's not naturally into loving you. No matter how much of a person you say, I'm going to be good to them, I'm going to give them every little piece, every little part of me, and it's still not enough. Because that person has to want to love you back, has to want to give you every little piece, every little part of them. And sometimes I give women all the credit in the world. I mean, y'all love runs deep when it comes to a man. You give a man 1,000 chances, time after time, and he always say, I'm sorry, I won't do it anymore. Next time, baby, I promise I'm going to be better. But the bottom line is, until he's ready to change, until he's ready to love you the way you love him, he's not going to change. He's not going to do better. And that's why I say we got to start learning that you just can't make them love you. Sometimes as a person, we want what we want so bad that all we can see is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And that's all we want to get to. And that's natural. That's natural for anybody to want to have a goal, see it, complete it, and get that ultimate fulfillment out of it, get that ultimate satisfaction. But sometimes, because we're so focused on that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, we tend to forget all the stuff you gotta go through just to get to that pot of gold. And by the time a person take you through so much mental anguish, so much heartbreak, so much misunderstanding, so much miscommunication, so many lies, by the time you actually get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, you almost ask yourself, was it even worth it? And now you're telling yourself you wouldn't even wish that journey on your worst enemy now. Because getting to the pot of the gold is what defines you. It what makes you. Because being with a person in that manner that has taken you through so much, we don't realize how much it makes us grow. Now, in some cases, it could definitely set you back. But it makes you grow so much that you realize the whole time you've been chasing this person, the whole time you've been trying to make this person love you, you don't realize you were in a weird sort of roundabout way defining yourself, defining who you are, defining what you do and you don't like, what you will and won't put up with, what you can and can't handle. And it's a real messed up feeling to realize, to come to the realization that the whole time you were busy loving this person, they were busy loving themselves. And it takes a special type of person as it is to give so much of themselves, to totally love you and be selfless with their love to make you number one. But if you really examine so many relationships, it's always been one-sided, where one person loves the other person so much more than one person does. But at the end of the day, we'll be so quick to tell somebody, yes, I love them with all my heart. And the question I say is that true? Do you really love that person with all your heart? And the quicker you come to the realization that you can't make them love you, the quicker you can understand that maybe you ought not be wasting your time here. Because I'm pretty sure if you take some time and look back over at your life, you could see certain things and I'm talking about people who are in past relationships who broke up for one reason or another. And if you really sit down and be honest with yourself and and just take some time and look back over the relationship with a fine-tooth comb and just start looking back at things and paying attention to things, you're going to see that there were warning signs, there were smoke signals, there were stop signs that were there, but you just chose not to adhere to them, not to pay attention to them. And that doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you anything but human, because sometimes we get so focused on wanting something to work out that we don't see anything else. All we see is blinders. And like I said, that doesn't make you a bad person. That in a weird sort of way, it makes you a really good person, because you want so much in your heart to believe that something is going to work that you put everything towards it. Now, if you could find another person that feels about a relationship or love the way you do, putting everything in it, and both of you guys are working toward one singular goal, one singular purpose, man, that must feel like heaven on earth to have that, you know. But so many times in today's world, one of the participants in love is playing games, or not 100% there, or not 100% into what's really going on. And sometimes it can work both ways. I'm not just putting this on the men. It could definitely be women into that too. Because can you just imagine for one moment this scenario? That as a man, you say, okay, I've been taught you treat a woman a certain way my whole life. I've been taught that you speak kind and soft to her. You never tear her down. You spend so much time loving her and build her up. That when you finally find that one woman that you feel like you want to dump all that into, for whatever reason, she's been torn down and hurt by the world, that no matter what you do at this particular point in her life, she's just not ready. And that's the one thing we got to start understanding, that the person that's not giving their all doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make them evil or anything like that. It just means that at this particular point in their lives, they're simply not ready. And you have to be okay with that. You have to say to yourself, okay, I recognize that this person is not ready. I will give you a hug. Now I can tell you that somewhere down the line, we could potentially be friends, but I have to say goodbye to you and start taking this time that I'm wasting here, because ultimately that's what you are doing, wasting time. I have to take this time that I'm wasting here and put it in other places. Use it to pursue avenues that might be fruitful to me, that might actually bring some returns to me, because I don't want to pour everything into you only to find out what I truly know right here, right now. But why waste 3 years to get to the point that I already know right now that this is not going anywhere and you're not ready? And a lot of times we take those relationships with somewhere in the back of our mind, somewhere in our spirit, in our heart, and our soul, we know these people are not ready, but we pursue it anyway because we want what we want. And we figure that if we just love hard enough, if we just care enough, if we just do all the right things, that I can make this person be in love with me. I can make this person turn around. Even though you can have a history on the person, seeing that their past was just littered and checkered with, infidelity, heartbreaks, game plan. But you always figure deep down inside that that's what they did to that person. That's what they did to them. I haven't given this person a reason to be that way, so of course they would never do this to me. And the moment that you say that to yourself is the moment that you've lost. And that's the God to honest truth. The moment that you think a person wouldn't treat you the way that he or she has treated the last person that they're with, you have mentally given in. Because when it happens to you, you won't even know. You'll have so many blinders on that you won't even know. And by the time you realize that this is happening to you, you're going to wake up one day and realize that when you finally realize it was happening to you was not the first time that it has happened to you with this person. They've done it to you over and over and over again. But because you wanted it so bad, you could feel it in your bones. You wanted it so bad, you could taste it, that you just didn't care, or you just didn't care to pay attention to the sign. So I say again to you, you can't make them love you. You can't make someone be at a place mentally, physically, and spiritually unless they're ready. They're ready to be at that place. You can't hold anyone's hand and say, hey, look, come follow me. Because even if they did come follow you, if they're not 100% ready, all they did was follow you to a place that they looked around in, saw that it was not a familiar place to them, and they wasn't ready to be there. So when you weren't looking, they went right back to where they're comfortable with. They went right back to where they was. But in your mind, you thought because you introduced them to a spot, that that's the spot that they were going to stay in and that they was comfortable with, which couldn't be further from the truth. Because until someone becomes ready to love, they're going to revert back to what they know and what's comfortable to them. And that's not to say that people can't change, and that's not to say that this applies to everyone. That's to say that you got to be able to recognize when a person is ready to elevate with you and go to that next level when it comes to love and relationships. And you got to be able to also recognize when that person is nowhere near in position to go where you're trying to go. And you got to recognize that you don't want to be trying to push a car up the hill. You don't want to try to. It's already hard enough for love and relationships and to get stuff to work. You don't want to be trying to go up this hill with someone on your back. It'll eventually take forever to get up that hill. You may eventually make it with them on your back, but once you get to the point where you can actually stop, take a moment to reflect, and realize you could have made it up this hill a long time ago without them on your back, then that's where resentment and stuff like that start to come into play, because you say to yourself, wow, I've let you hold me back, or I'll let me take longer to get to where I need to be, because I was always looking back trying to pull you where I was at, because I loved you and cared for you enough. I wanted you to be where I was at. But the one thing you didn't realize, that you could pull all you want, you could push all you want, but if they're not ready, they're just not ready. And I say again, you cannot make them love you. You can have enough love for 10 people, but if they can't see it, they can't feel it, for them it's just something to do, somewhere to be for the time being, then what good is that ultimate love that you have? What good is having that love for 10 people when the one person you want to feel that love can't even get it? So I say again, we got to get to the point where we realize that we're wasting time, that person is not ready, and above all else, you cannot make them love you. Because look at it like this. If you was walking along in the park somewhere, and all you kept telling yourself is, wow, this is a beautiful day. This is a great, beautiful day. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and I think everybody should enjoy this day. And you stop somebody and say, hey, isn't this a beautiful day? And all they go is, I guess it's okay. But you keep saying, but the sun is shining, the birds are chirping. Isn't this a beautiful day? But no matter how much you say it, if they just aren't in tune with certain things and can't see certain things, to them it's just an okay day. They think the sun is supposed to be shining. They think that the birds are supposed to be chirping. So to them, they're oblivious to it. But those of us who got an understanding of how life works, got an understanding of how elevated mental status works, you understand that the sun could not be shining. Could be a cloudy, gloomy day. The birds could not be chirping. The grass could not be green. Well, you understand that each day is not promised to you. And that's the same thing with love. If a person has not reached an elevated state of awareness, it's nothing you could say to them to get it. It's nothing you could say to them to make them understand that right here, right now, could be something beautiful, could be something special. But alas, they're not ready. And where you run into the problem is that you keep bumping your head into the wall saying that, why can't you get this? Why can't you understand that if you just put into me what I'm putting into you, my God, we could have a beautiful relationship. We could go on to have kids. We could go on to have a beautiful life. We could go on to watch our grandkids grow up. We can go on to provide a family and a bloodline that could last for generations. And they just sitting there looking at you with this blank look on their face because they don't get it. They don't understand. So I'm telling you, in 2016, from this point forward, look at your situation. Recognize what's really real and what's really going on. And if it's not beneficial and it's not what you're looking for and you feel that it's not going to change anytime soon, you got to make a move. You got to let them be however they're going to be. You got to walk away and you got to stop wasting your time. Because as I said, no matter what you do, until they reach a certain point, you cannot make them love you. So I just wanted to leave that with you guys. It was something that was pressing on me to make you try to understand that you deserve to be loved. And sometimes we take whatever comes our way when that's not really what you want. If you got an idea of how you want your love to be, you got an idea of how someone should love you, and it's pretty much along the lines that the way you would love someone, then why do we always back off of that? Why do we always tend to settle for less than what you set for yourself? If you mentally got a picture of what you want or how you think things should be, why do we often settle? Why do a lot of people settle for the first thing that comes along, right? Sometimes I know a lot of people that loves whoever loves them. And is that any way to really live life? Can you ever truly be happy if you just take whatever piece of person come in your life? Can you truly be happy? Don't you want to be able to say more than, well, at least I got a man. Well, at least I got a woman. Don't you want more? Don't you want to be able to say, at least I got the woman that loves me and I love. At least I got the man that loves me and I love them. Don't you want more than just saying you got a warm body there? Anybody can be a warm body to you, but not anybody can complete you. So I'm going to leave it right there and say for the last time, we got to realize that you cannot make them love you. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Random Select. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for letting me rant again. You can find us on iTunes. Just type in Random Select Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Just type in Random Select Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Random Select, and that's select with 2 T's. You can also go to our website, which is therandomselect.com, where you can find all the podcasts, all the blogs that we've put up right there, all in one spot. But let me get out of here, and I just want to say thanks to all the people that supported Random Select in the last couple of months. I really do appreciate it. We got quite a new following, met some new friends of the show, Queenette, Nigel, Rhonda Terry, LaQuinda Lester, Eric Rainey, just a bunch of great people that's really supported us, and we truly appreciate that. Until the next time, people, this is Mario, and Random Select is out.
You have been listening to Random Select. Thank you. Goodbye.